Right, I'm seeing a lot online about Leeds United's depth, and I have to address this from my perspective. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below. It's absolutely freezing, by the way, but I've got to address this from my perspective anyway. The depth at Leeds United, loads of stuff going around. The Leeds United need to do stuff, other teams are doing business. What do Leeds United need to do? Right, okay, so bearing in mind, throughout this season we've got a bagel in there, a polo mint, a hologram for large portions of the season, right? That's number one. And when you look at the goals that Leeds United have conceded, I'm not saying they're all Ilan Mele's fault, but there's a large portion of them which, you know, football is subjective. You might turn around and point to as his fault. The back four this season has been excellent. It's been absolutely excellent. If they had a goalkeeper behind them who was of a certain level, just I'm talking 10% better, Leeds United would be, in my opinion, probably 6-7 points better off. Okay, so that's the first thing. The midfield's a joke. Not only that, but we've had our two starting midfielders at the beginning of the season out, not available, in Gruev and Ampadu. Gruev been a constant last season, one of Farke's constants as well, normally partnered obviously with Glenn Kamara last season, but Leeds in a position halfway through the Norwich game away, Carrow Road, where you literally have to put on a completely different midfield combination. Tanaka obviously coming from Germany, having to suit into the Championship, which I think is a much faster league than Bundesliga 2. And look, Joe Rothwell, who's not played a lot of minutes, if we're being honest, for Southampton. So the acclimatisation for our midfield just shows the quality of both of them. So that's what we've got in rotation. Because bearing in mind Tanaka and bearing in mind Rothwell at the start of the season, everybody, were rotation. Okay, so let's look a little bit further forward. Now, the front four's a joke. The front four's an absolute joke. When you look at Matteo Joseph pre-season, he was absolutely lighting it up. Joel Peru, his goals over the past 2 seasons, when you look at his rap sheet, have been pretty decent, even though we disagree. A lot of people disagree about Peru and a lot of people disagree about Joseph, but overall, they're two good players up top in the Championship. We have to say that, we have to clarify there. And really, I am quite passionate about this. You look at the options we've got in behind. You look at Nonto, you look at Ramazani, you look at James, you look at Aronson, you look at Solomon. All these players are ridiculous at Championship level. Every single team in the division would take Dan James. Every single team in the division would take Nonto, Ramazani, Solomon, all of them. So this whole notion, then you look at the bench, how we strengthened in Gilavogi as a free agent when we needed to. You've now got, when Grev's back, midfield depth, 5 central midfielders who arguably could get into most teams in this division, if we're being honest, okay? So the depth we've got, Max Verber, an Austrian international, on the bench, can play left back, can play centre back. Isaac Schmidt, who doesn't start for Leeds United, but we brought him in for nigh on £4 million. Charlie Crew, an up-and-comer who doesn't get minutes, understandably. But on the bench, the rap sheet of what Leeds United have is ridiculous. And I think when you look even between the sticks and you look at Caldalo, I've mentioned this several times, that Leeds United have a goalkeeper there who's a steady Eddie and who isn't mistake prone, has never been mistake prone in his career. Is he the elite goalkeeper? Absolutely not. Is he the goalkeeper of the level of Michael Cooper, of James Trafford, of Pears, of whoever we want to say in that top 6, Palmer? I don't think he is. But very recently, he was one of Hull City starlets in 2023, okay? And all of them wanted him back. Blackburn Rovers were rumoured being interested in him towards the back end of 2023 and the start of 2024. He's been decent for Wales. So my standards right now is that a goalkeeper comes in and doesn't make mistakes, because that's all we need. We just need a goalkeeper to come in and not make mistakes. That's it. So this notion, which I think is rubbish, that Leeds need to go out and spend, how we need to react to Ben Brereton Diaz. We need to react to Isaiah Jones potentially going from Middlesbrough to Luton and another top 6 club looking at him. It's absolute rubbish. If you look at it right now, who are you taking? Ramazani or Isaiah Jones? Who are you taking? Dan James or Isaiah Jones? Who are you taking? Manor Solomon or Isaiah Jones? When you look through the Leeds United squad, the only person for me who we desperately need to improve on is Ilan Mele, that number 10. This whole notion, which is, for me, giving the manager multiple excuses of not playing a winger in a central space, is absolute rubbish. Manor Solomon has a low centre of gravity. Manor Solomon is a very, very good technical footballer. A very good technical footballer who can play in that number 10 role. This notion that you need to be trained in the number 10 role is absolute rubbish. And that was shown by Brendan Aronson at the beginning of the season, who 5 days after Jorginho Rutter left Leeds United, went from the left into that central space. So listen, don't get me wrong. Would I like a shiny new toy in a number 10? Of course I would. Have I mentioned it on the video? Have I mentioned suggestions? Of course I would. Julio Enciso. Would I like a shiny new number 9? Of course. Would I like, a centre-back? Yeah, don't get me wrong. You want depth everywhere. Of course you want as much as possible to get you into that next division. I want Leeds to be playing Premier League football. But when you look at that squad of 24, it's more than good enough. It's more than experienced enough. And overall, depth-wise, it's really good. You look at the options that we have at full-back. Just because Daniel Farke hasn't played Schmidt at right-back or left-back doesn't mean that Schmidt isn't depth and isn't an option. Okay? Max Verber, Junior Firpo, Sam Byram. This is all good quality Championship depth. Farke was talking the other day about us having one of the youngest squad. It's just factually incorrect. It's factually incorrect. And this is why I'm sort of looking at it right now. And even with a squad depth, which is of 24, which isn't the deepest in the league, the 49ers have recruited very, very well. When you look at players' position and you look at the bench that we have, you look at every single Leeds fan on match day who's commenting saying, look at that bench, look at that bench, look at that bench. We can't flip the narrative now. Leeds and Burnley have the deepest squads when it comes to quality in a squad of 18 in the division. 100%. And Sheffield United fans will tell you that right now. Sunderland to tell you that right now. It can all change. But we spoke about Enzo Lafay on my second channel, which you can check out, everybody, by the way. Conor McGilligan, make sure you do so. But we spoke about Enzo Lafay, what an unbelievable signing that would be. But does that close the gap? I know, look, they're 4 points behind us. I understand they're 4 points behind us in Sunderland. Might be even 3. But that doesn't close the gap with what Leeds United have got. Let me remind you, the options that we have at fullback, the centre-back options, if you keep hold of Max Verber, nobody has that depth. Gilovoggi, who's played centre-back, Ampadu, who's played centre-back, Verber, who's played centre-back, Rodon, who's played centre-back, Strauch, who's played centre-back. The depth options Leeds have are massive, and sometimes it's not ideal. It wouldn't be ideal Solomon going in the 10. It wouldn't be ideal Nonto going in the 10. It wouldn't be ideal Gilovoggi or Ampadu going centre-back. But you have to work your way around that. You can't always have the idyllic options. You can't always go out and sign a shiny new number 10. Aronson, as much as I'm not his biggest fan, is a good option in the number 10 role. Aronson has got 7 goals and 3 assists. Okay? Now, I don't think this is a comparison. I think Jorginho Rutter is one of the best players I've seen at Leeds in the last 10 years. Maybe even more, alongside Rafinha. But Aronson's already scored more goals than him. And the team is more balanced. We speak about this all the time. We spoke about it last night with Benjamin Bloom, that with the second year of parachute payments, you don't have that disruption that you have in the first year, which Leeds experienced and now Sheffield United are experiencing. You don't have that disruption. The squad is more balanced. We were all saying it. Don't get me wrong. Leeds United would be nice going for all these shiny new toys, but Daniel Farke right now has the options to rotate, has the options to put quality on. And it is abundantly clear within this Leeds United squad. So if you're asking me, and we're doing the rumour mill all the time, and if you're asking me, do we desperately need to sign anyone? No, I don't think we do. And I think it's a January window of which we make content, of course we do. We speak on the rumour mill, but this whole notion of Leeds United desperately needing players, no, it doesn't happen. However, if they got to go out and get a goalkeeper, listen, I'm all about that rationale, no problem there whatsoever. But do we have a steady Eddie between the sticks, who's second in command, who can get us to the end of the season, who won't make mistakes on the same level as Ilan Mele? Of course we do. We do. Caldalo. And where's the evidence for that? Well, he's 34 years of age. There's quite a plethora. There's quite a rap sheet there. So, no, not for me. We don't desperately need it. And I think all these excuses, all these things, I do classify them as excuses, to be fair, because it's almost saying that, we need to throw more at it so Daniel Farke can get the best out of it. We've got more than enough right now. It's all about rotation. But we've got rotation, for me, in every single area. Every single area. Nonto's played the 10 before. Solomon has the attributes to fit that number 10 seamlessly. And if you want to go to a 3, you can go to a 3. A midfield 3, which I think would benefit this Leeds United side as well. 2 number 8s and a defensive midfielder. That's what I think, everybody. But I'm just sick of this notion. Any time a player signs for another club, oh, what are Leeds doing? What are Leeds doing? The guy has got enough at his disposal. And with a 24-man squad, a thin squad, a low-numbered squad, to have that amount of quality shows that it's been very good recruitment. Very, very good recruitment. And we'd have all prayed for a balanced squad like this last season. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. See you tonight.